Have you ever wondered what the Matrix doesn't want you to know about your money? Have you ever wondered what makes money truly valuable? Is it just a piece of metal? Or is there something more? What if I told you there is a type of money that could change how we think about wealth and freedom? Friend, let's find out together why Bitcoin might just be the better gold. And I will show you that why many believe Bitcoin is not just an alternative, but the superior choice. I will give you the knowledge that the Matrix doesn't want you to know. First off, when we talk about hard money, we are talking about money that's really tough to make more of. It's not like just printing paper money. Hard money takes a lot of work and time to produce. One key feature of hard money is what we call the high stock-to-flow ratio. This might sound a bit technical, but it's actually pretty simple. The stock is how much of the money is already out there, and the flow is how much new money is made each year. Hard money, like Bitcoin and gold, has a huge amount of stock compared to the new flow. This means you cannot just make a lot of it quickly. Next up, value stability. Hard money doesn't lose its value easily or quickly because it's tough to just make more. It's less likely to experience inflation, which is when money loses its value. This makes it a really good way to save your money for the future. Lastly, hard money has a limited supply. There is only so much gold in the ground, and there is a cap on how many bitcoins can ever exist. That's 10 million, by the way. This limited supply helps keep the money valuable because there isn't an endless amount out there. So, why does this matter? Well, hard money offers a way to preserve wealth over time without worrying about someone just making a ton more and lowering its value. It's about keeping your money safe and sound for the future. Remember, friend, the stock-to-flow ratio is a way to measure how hard a type of money is. Stock is all the money that's already available, while flow is how much new money is made each year. A higher ratio means it's harder to make more of that money quickly. Let's start with gold. Gold has been valuable for thousands of years because it's pretty hard to get more of it out of the ground. It has a high stock-to-flow ratio because the amount of new gold mined each year is small compared to the total amount of gold that's already been mined. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin was designed to be digital gold, but with an even more predictable supply. The total number of Bitcoins that can ever exist is kept at 21 million, and the way new Bitcoins are made cuts in half about every 4 years in what's called a halving. Because of these halvings, Bitcoin's stock-to-flow ratio actually increases over time, making it increasingly harder compared to gold. This means that while both are hard money, Bitcoin is programmed to become even harder. So, why does this matter to us as investors or savers? A higher stock-to-flow ratio means less inflation and more value stability over time. It's why many see Bitcoin as potentially a better long-term store of value than even gold. First, let's talk about what decentralization means. It's when something isn't controlled by just one person or place. It's spread out across many places or people, which can make it more secure and less likely to fail. Gold is usually stored in vaults and banks. These are centralized places. If something goes wrong at these places, like theft or government seizure, your gold could be at risk. Plus, moving gold requires physical transportation, which can also be risky and expensive. Now, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's network is spread out all over the world on thousands of computers called nodes. Each node has a copy of all Bitcoin transactions ever made. This setup means no single point of failure. If one computer goes down, it doesn't affect the network. Security-wise, Bitcoin uses something called cryptography to protect your money. It's like a super complex digital lock that only you have the key to. This makes Bitcoin very secure from theft or hacking as long as you keep your private keys safe. So, gold's centralized nature makes it vulnerable to specific kinds of risks that Bitcoin avoids with its decentralized setup. Bitcoin is designed to minimize problems like security breaches, government interference, and other external controls. In essence, while both gold and Bitcoin offers forms of security, Bitcoin's decentralized nature provides a unique kind of security that doesn't rely on physical protection or the integrity of a central authority. Starting with portability. Gold is physically heavy and hard to move around. If you got a lot of it, say you want to move your savings from one country to another, it can be really challenging. You'd need secure transport, possibly guards, and lots of paperwork. It's expensive and risky. Now, think about Bitcoin. It's digital, so you can send it anywhere in the world almost instantly. No need for armored trucks or extra security. You just need a secure internet connection. Plus, you can carry billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin on just a small hardware wallet in your pocket. That's pretty amazing, right? Next, let's talk about divisibility. Gold can be divided, but it requires melting down, weighing, and then reshaping. This process needs special equipment and is not precise without high technical standards. Bitcoin, on the other hand, shines in divisibility. One Bitcoin can be divided into 100 million smaller units, called satoshis. This makes Bitcoin incredibly versatile for transactions of all sizes, down to even a few cents. Whether you are buying a coffee or a car, you can pay the exact amount without needing any change back. So, in the battle of portability and divisibility, Bitcoin clearly has the upper hand. Its digital nature allows it to be more adaptable and easier to use in everyday transactions than gold. Let's start with transparency. When we talk about transparency in financial assets, we mean how easily you can see and understand where the asset comes from, how much it exists, and where it's going. With gold, while we know how it's mined and refined, the exact details about how much gold is being mined, where it's stored, or how much exists above ground can be a bit unclear. Now, look at Bitcoin. Every single Bitcoin transaction that has ever happened is recorded on something called the blockchain. It's like a public ledger that everyone can see, but no one can change. This means you can trace every Bitcoin from the moment it's mined. Moving on to predictability. Gold's production can fluctuate based on new mine discoveries, market prices, and mining technology. This makes its future supply a bit unpredictable. Bitcoin, however, is completely different. The rate at which new Bitcoins are created is cut in half roughly every 4 years in an event known as the halving. This is built into Bitcoin's very DNA, which means its supply schedule is predictable. Everyone knows there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins, and exactly how and when each Bitcoin is released. So, why does this matter? For investors and users, predictability and transparency help in making informed decisions. They reduce the risk of surprises that can cause prices to swing unexpectedly. This is why many believe Bitcoin might be a more secure and stable store of value in the long run compared to gold. Gold has been used for centuries, not just as money, but also in jewelry and electronics because of its physical properties. It's a symbol of wealth and has a solid track record as a long-term investment. However, in day-to-day transactions, it's not that practical. You don't go around paying for your coffee with gold coins, right? Enter Bitcoin. Unlike gold, Bitcoin was created for the digital age. It's designed to be used just like money, but in a digital form. You can use Bitcoin to buy almost anything now, from everyday shopping online to booking hotels, and even as a way to pay for services directly, all from your smartphone or computer. Bitcoin's adoption is growing rapidly around the world. Many businesses, both online and offline, now accept Bitcoin. Plus, it's becoming a part of mainstream finance, with Bitcoin ATMs popping up in cities, investment funds, and even some countries starting to recognize it as a legal tender. This kind of practical use and adoption is something gold simply cannot match in our increasingly digital economy. Take El Salvador, for example, where Bitcoin is legal tender. This means that everywhere in the country, you can pay with Bitcoin just as easily as with traditional money. This isn't just about buying things. It's also about sending money across borders without large fees, which can be a game changer for how we think about money globally. So, while gold certainly has its advantages and continues to hold value as an investment and luxury item, Bitcoin is making progress in practical daily use and broad adoption. It's fast, it's digital, and it fits perfectly into how we live our lives today. That's it, friend. But before we wrap up, there's something important I want to share with you. That's the secret of money that the Matrix doesn't tell you. Money isn't just about wealth and transactions. It's about freedom, choice, and the power to control your own destiny. You don't have to subscribe or like this video. That's not why I'm here. I'm sharing this with you because I believe in spreading knowledge and empowerment. It's about more than just me. It's about starting a movement. Imagine a world where our financial system is transparent, where our money works for us, and where we all have the power to shape our own destinies. That's the world I dream of, and that's the world I want us to build together. Let's escape the Matrix together!